Now we're going to run through an example as if we were preparing for an interview cold call assignment. This is a typical interview assignment that you might get. You might be asked to prepare a mock cold call and do a mock cold call live with one of the sales managers interviewing you. So a couple quick tips before we run through the example. First of all, don't worry, don't overthink this process too much. If you watch these videos and you practice the scripts, you're going to do fine. They're not expecting you to be a product expert here on any given product. All they're really looking for is your overall phone presence. So do you come prepared? Do you sound cool, calm, collected? Do you sound confident on the phone? If so, you're going to do great. Overall, keep it short and sweet, right? This is a 3 to 5 minute exercise. No one's expecting you to hold the conversation for 20 minutes here. It's a cold call. So let's dive in and run through the example here. One last tip before we get into it is practice these examples over and over again. Say them out loud to yourself. Write down your script. Call your mom, call your dad, call your best friend, call a sibling. Practice with them on the phone. The more you say this out loud, the more you practice, the more you listen to yourself say this, the easier it's going to sound, the more confident you'll be on the phone. All right, now into the call. I'm going to run through this from top to bottom as if I was calling Mark and I'm pitching the Canary product, a mobile app that helps hotels streamline and automate the check-in process. So I'm going to run through this from top to bottom. So ring, ring. Mark answers, says, hello. I say, hey, Mark, this is Mitch from Canary. Did I catch you at a bad time? No, Mitch, go ahead. Okay, great. Do you mind if I tell you why I'm calling? And then you can tell me if it makes sense to keep talking or not. Sure, Mitch. That's fine. Go ahead. Awesome, Mark. Appreciate that. We work with other hotel management companies with over 5 properties, similar to you folks actually, that are experiencing a high volume of credit card chargebacks and potential fraud as well. Maybe they've tried getting customers to send over their personal info by email or fax, but they just found that chargebacks remain high and guests continue to complain about the experience. Mark, I'm just curious, does that sound like anything that someone at your hotel might be dealing with? Yeah, Mitch. That sounds like something that we're dealing with. We saw a lot of chargebacks the past quarter, especially during the pandemic. It's an increasing problem for us. Interesting. Can you elaborate a little bit? What does that look like today? Yeah, chargebacks, they used to hover around like the 14, 15K range. But since the pandemic, it's been increasing to around like 60K a month, which is pretty astronomical. We've actually been looking into it and how we can try to solve that. Oh yeah, I know, Mark, how that can be. We're working with a lot of hotels that are facing the same issue right now during the pandemic. It seems like fraud is just running rampant. Can you tell me a little bit more about maybe like how you and your team are thinking about solving that today? Yeah, well, we're trying to have our guests, send over more information ahead of time so that we can vet them, screen them a little bit easier. But they're not so happy about that, as you can imagine. Yeah, no, I understand that completely. I can imagine that your guests don't want to take the extra time out of their day, and it's probably a pain in the butt for them. How long has this been a problem for you all? Like I said, it's been a problem about the past 7 months, but even before then, we saw chargebacks as well, even before the pandemic. Appreciate the context there, Mark. What you're describing sounds a lot like what many of our customers are actually facing right now. Like I mentioned, fraud is kind of on the rise, a lot of chargebacks these days. And, we actually worked with another company similar to you folks down in Southern California there, and we're able to decrease their chargeback rate, take it all the way to 0% actually the last 3 months. And they were at an all-time high, right on that 60K mark as well, prior to coming on board with Canary. I'm just curious, does this sound like something that you might be interested in taking a look at? Maybe we could set up some time, say next week, next Tuesday or Wednesday, 20 minutes to walk through how we'd approach this at your hotel? Yeah, Mitch, that might be cool. But can you tell me a little bit more about like what you guys actually do, how this works? I'm just a little confused. Are you like an outsourced service, or what is Canary? Yeah, no worries, Mark. So I kind of breezed over it there, but Canary, we're actually a mobile platform, a mobile app that your customers can use to streamline the check-in process. So we allow them to check in through the app and submit all of their personal information over the app. It takes about 90 seconds for them to do that. And then we're able to verify the guests themselves and decrease the chargeback rate because of that. Like I mentioned, we could find time next week if you're curious at all, 20 minutes or so, and just walk through what this would look like at your hotel. And then After that call, you can decide if this makes sense at all to continue to explore further. How does that sound? Yeah, Mitch, I think that sounds good. We can do something like that. Okay, great, Mark. Appreciate that. I'm going to send over a calendar invite for us. Next Tuesday, does 10 a.m. Eastern time work for you? Yeah, 10 a.m. works. Awesome. Cool. I'll shoot that over and then we will go from there. Take care. Bye. All right. That is the cold call from start to finish. Ran through that quickly, but hopefully you got a sense of what one of those typical calls sounds like. It's going to go back and forth. The more you can make it a dialogue, the better off you're going to be. And this is about in depth as you're going to get on any cold call mock practice. So again, my biggest piece of advice here is just practice this out loud. Say it as many times as you can. Feel comfortable with the wording you're going to use. You don't have to follow this script exactly, but it is a safe script that works. So make it your own, make it feel confident and comfortable with you, and you're going to crush it.